Welcome to another episode of the Champions League Final podcast, where we talk a little bit of Champions League Final and a whole lot of FA Cup Final too. My name is Oscar Puente, also known as Champions League Final, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, goal scorer to send Chelsea into the Champions League Final, Timo Werner, and super producer Robert Di Matteo.
Wow.
Okay. One for the teenagers there. Does that mean the super producer is going to win something and then just get binned off right away after?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then we'll bring in Rafa. Who would be our Rafa to bring in? Jeff. It's Jeff. Jeff, you're going to be a host next season. Prepare yourself. Start getting your bluffers together now.
Start getting your Spanish waiter on.
I win the bluffer, go up and get the trophy, and go up to Roman and go, "We did it!" And Roman's like, "Yeah, fine."
Yeah, we did. Oh yeah, so is this going to be your wank fest this week then, mate? Because Chelsea are in all these extra games and something and beat Man City or some of the shit. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? It's been a great week for Chelsea on every possible level. Our results, other people's results, good times. Shout out Posh, by the way. Didn't you guys win like 17-0 the other night?
4-1 to against Doncaster Rovers. Yeah, we did. Well, brilliantly. The disrespect on us. We brought on a goalkeeper substitution just because we can.
What?
I know, towards the end, and he let in a goal.
Wow. What a prick. I did notice that none of your good players started or were on the bench for that game. Now, I'm just wondering if there's any contract talks abound and there's a little bit of pullback since the promotion.
Almost definitely, yeah. There were like about 8 or 9 changes. We played a lot of kids. Apparently, the players who were not going to be required next year had already been let know. So, yeah, there could well have been a bit of shop window playing there. Because those players, certainly like the likes of Isa, that have not been playing that well whenever they've been given the chance, and suddenly beat Doncaster Rovers 4-1. So
enjoy your transfer to Wickham.
On the way down, can you imagine? Oh, Wickham, who Gareth Ainsworth, their manager.
No, that's too much. That's too much.
No, you got to have this one.
Right,
so they get promoted because.
I tried, Oscar.
Yeah, I know. Promoted to what? What division are we even talking about here?
They got promoted to the Championship because
we know that one
because of the season that got curtailed and it went points per game.
Yeah.
And then he has the audacity to say in the media, "Oh well, if Wickham had had one more game, we wouldn't have been relegated." Well, fuck you, mate. Peterborough didn't even get the full 46.
What?
And that's how it works.
How does that work? If we'd had one more game, we wouldn't get well. You might have lost that game.
Yeah. Exactly. Fuck you, mate.
Fuck off, Gareth Ainsworth. Luckily, we don't have to worry about him anymore because we don't look that far down the pyramid.
I barely look at the Championship, honestly, but who cares?
Yeah, Oscar, move on quickly.
Yes, let's go then. If you are joining us for the first time, thank you. We are very happy to have you. Welcome. We are 1 American and 2 Brits, and we talk about mostly the Premier League, but mostly get distracted. And we like to kick things off around here with our famous segment... Rapid fire news. Our top story this evening, speaking of the Champions League final, Portugal is a strong candidate to host the Champions League final after UEFA did not gain guarantees of exemptions. It wants to move the game to Wembley. UEFA, UK government officials, and the FA met on Monday to discuss moving the game between Chelsea and Manchester City from Istanbul. UEFA has decided it will be moved after Turkey was put on England's red travel list, meaning fans cannot travel, and any players that travel would be subject to quarantine and potentially be affected in their European tournament plans.
Is Turkey a host nation in the Euros? So does this make it all kind of irrelevant? So they're about to do a Euros that's hosting in 14 countries.
Is that still happening? I thought they moved it all to, England.
No, not that. Well, A, I don't think so. B, I wouldn't have done my due diligence to find out. But the whole thing about there being any pushback to just making the game at Wembley is insane. Just do it. Let the fans be there. Let it be close. Don't make the players fly for whatever it is to Istanbul, 4 hours, probably 4.5 hours. Just chill.
I could be mistaken because I already closed the tab, of course. But I think there's something happening at Wembley that day, right? Isn't that the championship?
Yeah, it's the championship playoff
final.
Yeah, but I think that could easily be moved.
You just fucking move it.
Sure of that. I don't think that
put it on the five-a-side pitches outside.
Yeah, but no, it is. I mean, the UEFA tournament is still spread across many different nations. The only reason they're even considering moving it from Istanbul is the reason you said, Oscar, of that quarantining from Turkey at the minute would massively impact teams getting together for the pre-tournament for Euro 2020, and they really don't want that to be impacted by COVID. Otherwise, they would just push through and force it anyway, because they've done that sort of thing before. Played games in ridiculous places because they've done the deal. But the problem with Wembley is that at the minute we are only able to have 10,000 people in the stadium. I don't think Portugal has such restrictions at the minute. I'm not sure. So, yeah, Portugal seems like the front runner at the minute. But, I mean, by the time this comes out, we might know different.
Yeah, who knows? So just Chelsea fans start buying hotel rooms in every city you could possibly think of, just in case.
Yeah.
And then make sure you get no cancellation fees, and you'll be all good to go.
Yeah.
And that's actually a good place to transition to our next story. Ian just mentioned it. Up to 10,000 fans will be permitted at outdoor sports venues in England starting May 17, according to Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
Yeah, well, this is kind of just confirmation of what we kind of knew anyway. It's the last 2 games of the season. It means every team will get 1 game with home fans to kind of round out the year. And so I think that's quite a nice thing.
Yeah, it'll be nice that everybody have had at least 1 game with fans there. It is also a sign of things easing up as more people get vaccinated and all that sort of stuff starts to go down. The right numbers are going down.
Get the jab in me. Get it in me.
Why is the jab still not even had the first one, have you?
I'm not jabbed.
Not jabbed. Stick me with the pointy end.
Get it in me. Fucking hell.
Bro, just go fly over to New York. It's open. Walk-in appointments. No identification.
I can't go through an airport
ever again.
Genuinely, though, actually, that reminds me. I need to renew my passport. Thanks, mate.
There you go. Reminder to all fans, if you have to renew your passport ahead of travel opening up again, this is a good time to do that.
You can't travel in the last 6 months, and it's taking up to 10 weeks at the moment. So
is it? But if you need it in an emergency, the passport office is in Peterborough. Come by. Let's have a drink. We can go inside
there you
now.
Go, yeah. Yeah, aren't you guys allowed to, like, hug people as of next week?
We can hug friends and family, and I consider everyone a friend, and I will touch them thus.
No, that sucks. Then I can't hug either of you guys, I guess.
Oh, that's disappointing.
You are acquaintances at best.
Colleagues.
Side project work colleagues.
Co-workers. No, I love you guys.
Screen up between us.
I love you guys. Let's move on then. There's a bunch of stories with
strong Cartman vibes there. Yeah,
sorry, that's too open with my emotions for 2 British people. You're both very uncomfortable now.
I like hugging.
All right, so let's move on then. A lot of fallout from the Super League, so there's a few of these stories. Let's start off with one about Italy. Juventus have been told that they face expulsion from Serie A if they remain part of the European Super League. There are still 3 clubs that are still holding on as if this is going to happen.
The website's still up. The website's still up.
Is it?
I've heard tell that merchandise was made. I
want to buy some.
They made 75,000 T-shirts for the Super League.
You spoiled it, Chuck. I was going to buy Oscar a Chelsea Super League shirt when they come out because apparently a wholesalers has bought up the 75,000 shirts that were produced.
Yes, please.
None of them with sponsors. They've all got something like New Era on the front. And yeah, I was going to get Oscar a Chelsea one and me and you, Chuck, some random team. But yeah, 75. They're now selling. They're going to be selling them for like 2 or 3 quid each when they were supposed to be.
Fuck yes, please!
Oh my god,
that.
Yeah,
that can go perfectly with my Asia Cup trophy jersey that I got by accident.
exactly. I knew you'd love
patches. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I knew you'd love it.
All right, so that's it. Juve might get kicked out, but they're not going to. So whatever.
No, they won't because money.
Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of money, next story with continuing fallout from the Super League. Manchester United's efforts to secure a lucrative new training kit deal have suffered a setback after a local firm withdrew over concerns it could be boycotted by fans protesting at the club's owners. United's 8-year, £120 million contract with American insurance giant Aon concludes at the end of the season. Talks have been taking place to find a replacement, but it is understood that one of the frontrunners, the Hut Group, have pulled out a potential deal.
Pizza Hut. They're going to be sponsored by Pizza. Is there going to be a stuffed crust at every corner?
That would be fucking amazing.
Because League One was sponsored by Uber Eats, and you could get it delivered to your seat if you were sat in certain places, and a man would come out with a scooter.
What's the point? They'd be 2 hours fucking late, and the game would be over by the time you fucking get it.
No, because I don't know. It's probably just from a stand outside. Ian, don't just okay.
Yeah.
So what if you could just have a Pizza Hut man there?
I live in Peterborough. Uber Eats, Deliveroo. If I go on these things, there's about like 2 riders maybe doing the whole city. It's not like London where you can fucking get whatever you like. And last time I tried to get an Uber Eats Subway, it was about 2.5 hours late, and I refused to pay for it.
You paid for it, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I got the money back after a long, boring chat with an Uber Eats guy. You could argue it wasn't worth my time.
Yeah.
But...
But you just thought, you've wasted 2.5 hours of my time, mate. So, yeah, I am going to lecture you on the asbestos history of Peterborough. Thank you very much. All right? You will know about the production.
And now our listeners have to listen to this too. So
have to endure it.
We're wasting lots of
fuck 'em.
people's time. Ian, to that I would just say don't live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and you'd get very nice Uber Eats delivery times, because I can get stuff as quick as 15 minutes.
I'd live in a cupboard, so I'm not interested.
Yeah.
All right, Harry Potter.
I mean, this seems like easier publicity for this company to be like, no, we don't have to give anyone money, and we look good, and everyone knows our name.
Wait, is it Pizza Hut?
I don't know. I closed the tab. The name was The Hut Group, and the stock symbol was THG.
I've got to go off of the Super League website. Which is probably only still up because the Squarespace subscription lasts at least a month.
Well, they've got a free trial.
So, which is basically what the fucking website looks like.
Squarespace.
It's some sort of e-commerce company. I'm already bored from looking at the fuck. No, I'm already bored. Yeah, I'd have never known who they were. So yeah, you're quite right. They get more publicity from pulling out than...
Well, I'm glad we dipped back into that one. Can we just move on to the next story?
Yeah, let's move on. 9 of the original European Super League clubs, including the Premier League's Big Six, have been given a financial punishment by UEFA. The 9 are the ones that have obviously pulled out. Real Madrid, Barca, and Juve are set to face, quote, appropriate action under UEFA's disciplinary process. Mm-hmm. The 9 clubs have agreed to make a combined 15 million euros goodwill contribution, combined, to the benefit children's and grassroots footballs across Europe. They will also have 5% of their revenues withheld for 1 season, starting in 2023-2024, and that money will be redistributed. So good thing for Arsenal that they will face no penalties for this, because they can't lose 5% of zero.
The fine is 20p a child, and in 3 years, when the revenues have increased by probably 20%, we'll cut 5% out. Well, fucking done. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for UEFA, though, honestly. Like, that's a typical slap on the wrist, unless you're Chelsea. I'm surprised they didn't give Chelsea a 2-year transfer ban and a 500 million fine, and everybody else didn't get anything. But
there was one window. It ended up being one window. That's how inept it is. That you're using it as a stick to beat them. You use it as a stick to beat them, which A is hilarious on the one side, because it's like, oh, Chelsea are the only team that have suffered, which is funny, kind of, because I know you and I like you, and it's kind of fun. But
yeah,
but then the fact that even on that, when they did give a punishment, they went, oh, you're all right. Go on then. And now, Champions League final. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Really
honestly, thank you for that punishment, because we got Reece James and Mason Mount out of it. Otherwise, I don't think they ever would have had a chance at Chelsea, and now they are super duper good players, so that worked out pretty well. Yeah, just another fucking token slap on the wrist from UEFA, which is pretty much par for the course. Let's give in to all their demands and also give them a nominal punishment that has no effect whatsoever. But this might have a bigger effect. Moving on. Now, domestically, the Premier League is to bring in a new owner's charter to stop future attempts to join a breakaway Super League. All owners will have to sign up to the new rule, committing them to the core principles of the league, with breaches punished by significant sanctions. The actions of a few clubs cannot be allowed to create such division and disruption. We are determined to establish the truth of what happened and hold these clubs accountable for their decisions and actions.
But you mean like the old rules and laws that were in there, that you needed to hold them accountable for the action. So the action you took was to redraw up the rules and sign another piece of paper. Well fucking done. Jesus Christ.
Sounds about right. And of course, that paper will also be null and void if they just decide to fucking leave. You're like, if you leave, we're going to punish you by making you leave.
Yeah. It's like, we're not in the club anymore.
We want to make money. The second they find out they can make enough money from it and it's guaranteed and there's a TV deal, like Oscar said before, very astutely put, they just fucked it in the delivery. If they hadn't fucked it in the delivery and hadn't played their hand, they possibly could have got this in the next 2 years. Now, probably about another 4 or so, 5.
I would say 10 but that's a random guess. I mean, like, you have this in American sports, right? Everyone's talking about, like, oh, the American owners came in and corrupted us and blah, blah, blah. That's partially true, but, like, in America, like, it's not just that teams have left a league. Teams have literally just up and left entire cities and, like, fuck the fans. Yeah. Like, for example, the Brooklyn Dodgers left and didn't tell anyone. They just, like, showed up in LA and everyone says they left in the dark of night. And all the Dodgers fans were like, wait, what the fuck? Why is our team all of a sudden in California? They play in Brooklyn. Or more recently, the Seattle basketball team, the Supersonics, moved to Oklahoma City. Huge protests. And the owners just pushed through with it anyway. And that's what these guys are going to do. Like, they don't give a fuck how angry the fans are.
Loads of teams bounce around. They just bounce around based on what is popular, where they can get a fan base. I know in NFL, there's been teams that have changed multiple cities multiple times. Like, I think the Raiders are now in Las Vegas, I think, or they were in LA, and then they were in Oakland, and San Diego moved, and now they're in LA, and Utah moved, wasn't it? They were originally New Orleans in the NBA.
Yeah, that's basketball.
Why it's the Jazz.
That's why you have the Jazz playing in Utah.
In Utah, like, you may as well call them the Utah Osmonds, for fuck's sake. Like, do that instead. Give New Orleans back the Jazz rather than being Pelicans. But yeah, that was the interesting thing that I thought would happen with this Super League thing. Is they'll just go, okay, well, we'll just fuck off. We'll just move the teams. Move the team somewhere. Right. Like, if you take the players and you do all that and you can tie it up in lucrative enough monetary contracts, like, they'll all just go to, like, Monaco or something, I don't know.
It really has been such a fascinating cultural, like, study of English attitude towards sports compared to, like, other countries. Because, like, the way you guys are reacting, you would think that these teams are, like, threatening to dissolve or leave and move to a different country, like you said. But it's like they're still going to play at the same stadium against good teams, whereas, like, over here, you had, I think, less protests when teams just up and leave cities, which is, like, insane. So, anyway, one actual good, genuinely concrete outcome of this, one of the fallouts, this is our next story. Chelsea are set to introduce a supporter presence in the form of 3 supporter advisors at club board meetings starting from July 1st. Chelsea said the move will allow the club to discuss and seek advice on a broad range of matters. It's going to consult with its fan forums and non-official supporter groups regarding the process for selecting those advisors. Criteria will ensure that the supporter presence is representative of our base generally and is inclusive and diverse. A new selection will be made before the start of each season. Now, guaranteed in 3 years, that's going to be, oh, look, Roman Abramovich's 3 best friends happen to have supporters groups, and now they're on the board. But at least,
we are the fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Chelsea.
Great Chelsea fan.
But nominally, like, this does seem like an actual, like, that's a big deal. 3 supporters at the club board level.
I like that we went, it'll be really good to get, you know, the German model, which is like the 50+1 and the fans own a majority. And then, like, it's so barren in comparison here that, like, getting 3 fans involved is like a call for success, relatively.
One of them making the tea.
Like, of course it's a positive, but it just feels like such a, what?
I don't know. What do you guys think about the elected or the fact that it changes every year? That makes me kind of nervous because that seems like a good way for it to just get corrupted. Not to be a pessimist, but, you know.
Yeah, they won't be able to be bought, will they? Nah, mate.
Far be it from me to think that Abramovich's or the Chelsea board's motives are not pure as the driven snow, but it's all just, at the minute, it's all just damage control, isn't it?
Mm.
And Chelsea have come out of the Super League thing not bad compared to everyone else. Because
they kept winning, and it's people's memories will be quick to forget this kind of stuff. They'll wait for the bad PR. You know, it helps the Champions League final
among the Chelsea fans, definitely. But even in the wider world, they have done quite well at spinning it as, oh, we were sort of only last minute joiners, and we were. I think Man City might have been the first to announce they were pulling out, but it certainly broke on Twitter and everything that Chelsea were the first club. You know.
Yeah, and we were coerced into it. They were like, this is happening in 24 hours, do it or don't. And we were like, I guess. And then we were like, wait, why you lied to us? I'm sure that's how that went
That's
down,
exactly
guys. They didn't know any of the
it wasn't planned for a long time on clandestine Zooms and WhatsApps.
Yeah, exactly.
But they've managed to come out of this fairly well. But let's not pretend it's anything other than lip service. Like Chuck says, until you get some sort of over 50% voting share for fans on boards, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Because they'll still do whatever they want. They're going to consult with these fans, and then they'll go, yeah, but that doesn't really financially make sense, so we'll just plough on with what we're doing. Thanks very much.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Roman can just completely choose to ignore the board's decisions anyway. It's his fucking team, and it's his money.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
I do think that, that is something that deserves praise on some level. It's more than any of the other clubs have done. I don't even know, are there any other teams in the Prem that have supporter presence at the executive level, like at the club board meetings?
When Palace was bought out, it was bought out by 4 fans. That was in 2010. So Steve, I'm going to forget all their names now. Anyway, but Steve Parish is still there. There's 2 others. One of the originals went, and then we sold 19% or something to Americans who I can't even remember their name. They're the guys that own the 76ers in basketball. So I just know that from a personal level that it was bought out by fans, but obviously that's a different situation. That was the club wasn't going to exist. So
exactly.
the 4 of them came together to buy that. In terms of passion projects, well, if the Spotify guy buys Arsenal, who knows? Those Glazers are always talking about Man United.
Henry has long admired the Liverpool philosophy and been a huge fan for at least the 6 months before he bought the team.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. But like you say, it can't be a bad thing, can it? It cannot be a bad thing. But I just don't know how much of it's any real impact or just media lip service.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's a good place to cut it there. We do have one rapid fire racism as usual. We can't go a full week without something happening. This one is Manchester City and England forward Raheem Sterling has received racist abuse on social media. It comes only 2 days after English football's 4-day boycott of social media in response to ongoing online abuse had come to an end. A spokesperson for Facebook, which owns Instagram, said it had removed the comment and taken action against the account responsible. Facebook added that the abuse to the 26-year-old was unacceptable, quote. Although they could have clearly fucking done something much sooner to stop these sorts of things from happening, so how unacceptable is it actually? Or is this just, your classic PR? Nothing to say there, I think we can just move on, but just goes to show that, whatever we do until the actual social media platforms do something more substantial than condemning it with the strongest possible words, things just aren't going to change. So we'll leave that there, and let's move on then to the actual... I don't
think they ever do even... like when they say, we condemn it in the strongest possible terms, they could say it a lot stronger than that. You know what I mean? Yeah. They could say, fuck these fucking racist Yeah. That's quite strong terms.
It's stronger, isn't it?
Stronger.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Less dilute.
And I mean, in this case, talk is literally cheap. It's much cheaper to say, we don't like this, than it is to, do anything to change your business model.
Hire Liam Neeson to sit there and go, I will find you. I know where you are. I have skills. I will find you. And I will kill you.
He's too busy making movies like Taken, but in the snow. And Taken, but on a train.
Taken in space.
That'll be next. Do you want to hear a bit of old white guy misunderstanding social media boycott news though? Oscar specifically?
Always. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you talking about yourself here or someone else?
Yeah.
No. I fully understood what was going on.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Did you?
Andy Gray on the Keys and Gray podcast.
Finger on the pulse, Andy Gray.
Yeah. You would never expect his name to come up in this.
No. Him and Richard Keys are just always completely on the money with just the feeling of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and also he's very well known for being tolerant and not problematic on any level.
At any level.
It was just banter.
Also, you know how podcasts are not live and edited, and you can, if you say something really stupid, you can edit it out. So
God bless you.
He asked on the Keys and Gray podcast whether the social media blackout, and he was totally serious, whether the social media blackout meant that he couldn't WhatsApp and text his family. He was totally without joke, without irony or anything, was like, so what? I mean, like, I can't even text my family during this. And it was on the podcast. They sort of went, no, of course you can. You just can't tweet about it. You just can't tweet or go on Facebook. Of course you could text your family, you fucking moron.
Jesus Christ. I'm surprised he didn't say. I'm surprised he didn't black up for it. Genuinely, he's that much of an idiot.
Just unbelievable.
He just coloured in his windows. Well, I don't want to let people see in. No, Andy, it's not the Second World War, for fuck's sake. No. These people get paid so much money. It's insane. They just don't know anything, and it saddens me because I don't know stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly. If you too would like to support content creators who don't know anything, it's patreon.com/milesoffsidepod and or patreon.com/milesoffside. I never know which one. I always say Ian's going to correct me. He never corrects me.
He never does.
Try typing both of those in. One of them will take you
Miles Offside Pod. Patreon.com/milesoffsidepod. Pod. Speaking of, we've got a new Patreon. Should we just throw it in now? We might as well.
Play the fanfare. Is the fanfare still there?
Oh yeah, I've got the fanfare, yeah.
Yay!
I forgot how long it goes on, so I'll just do it as a
talk over it. Let it go. Let it breathe.
Jordan Cohen. Fine, I'll let it go. There you
go. It was Jordan Cohen. Jordan Cohen is a new patron, and also the one, the only, Mr. Oscar Dalton has come aboard as well.
Absolutely. And so what we should mention as well is you can come on board for free at the minute because we're going to pause the Patreon payments. I'm into that. Patreon payments. We're going to pause them in the off-season, obviously, so there will be no money taken. So you can just get on board, you can get on the Slack, see what it's all about, and then see whether you want to stay with us for next season.
Ian's actually remembered to turn it off this time as well, hasn't he? Have you?
Yeah, because you told me I definitely had to while I was on the website. So, yes, I did do that. Okay. It's already turned off. Payments are off.
Very good. We should note, however, that given that a large percentage of our listener base probably falls under this category, if you are under 16, legally, we cannot put you in the Slack. So
that's true. Yeah.
Sign up for the Patreon, but we will not be inviting you because, legal reasons. For good reasons. We don't want to be messaging 13-year-olds as much as we appreciate your listenership and your Patreon money, potentially. Go ahead and ask your dad for an allowance and then just give it to us. Mm-hmm. But,
Speaking of fanfares, just while we play the music, Patrick Bamford is still underperforming his XG.
Yay! Yeah, it's a bit long.
I really enjoy it.
Let's go ahead and start with Friday, May 7. Happy birthday to me. Leicester 2, Newcastle 4. Not a bad gift.
That's a good start to a weekender, isn't it?
Yeah. Seeing Leicester's top 4 percentage drop to 55 after the recent round of results and Chelsea's jumping up to 94. We were about 60-ish last time we recorded, so it's been a good week. Do you guys have any thoughts on Leicester losing to Newcastle?
Lol.
Yeah, it's funny. It was good.
Yeah, that is sort of it, isn't it? It's just mega lol, really. I said they had to win this match. Why did Brendy not listen to me? They've got 3 really tough fixtures to finish off.
It's going to happen. I've been telling you guys all season it's going to happen.
They're in so much more of a precarious position now. I mean, West Ham must be kicking themselves because, it's not just Liverpool who are knocking on the door. West Ham were. And if West Ham had managed to win their game, then they'd have been well in the hunt. But now it's Liverpool who are, in decent nick at the minute, it seems. And Leicester have got a lot to do in the last 3 games because what do we think they need to do to maintain their position? Win is a very, very basic, simplistic way
They'd have to win, I would say, 2 out of 3, including the one against Chelsea.
That is it. I think they do have to win 2 out of 3, and I think that's a tall order.
So the fixtures, for those of you who don't know, are Manchester United, Chelsea, and Tottenham. Chelsea obviously being the biggest one because if they win those 3, they're also taking 3 off of us.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the competitions with, like we said last week, I think Leicester and Chelsea are in such a similar position, after this game as well with the amount of points, that I think it's whoever's further down, potentially. Like, it's whether Leicester can take points off Man United after they have a ridiculous amount of games in a very short time, Like they're playing now, probably, and again tomorrow and the day
Statistically,
after.
it is likely.
I think they're playing two games at once.
Flip a coin and charges.
I think the B team are playing at the same time.
You're all in there. Ollie's got his full kit on. He's doing a John Terry. He's running down there. But
He's got two games on the go. It's like a Mrs. Doubtfire situation. He's running from one to the other. He's desperately trying to keep everything going. Yeah. For some reason, he's dressed as a woman. I don't know.
Who knows? And weirdly, since the 1st of April, if you sort the table by that, Newcastle are 4th.
Oh my God!
There you go. Wow.
This is their new. It's got to be their new coach, isn't it? I can't remember what his name is, but the new first team coach, who Steve Bruce initially banished to the stands because he was pissed off at how much influence he was having. But it's got to be, surely.
That does really fucking destroy Leicester's promotion. I keep going to say promotion. Qualification for the UCL percentages, like I said, they are down to 55. They were at 71% last time we recorded a week ago. They are now almost in a dead heat race with Liverpool. And Chelsea have completely pulled away. So bad times for them. And as we've said, like in, 16 years, Leicester winning the league, and then one other fucking time out of all those 16 years has anyone other than the Big Six finished in the top 4, and that was Everton in 2005, I think, or 2004.
Yeah, we don't care, mate. We're still not on board with the Super League, so move on.
No, I'm just saying it doesn't happen. Like, this is why it doesn't happen. Leicester were in great position all last season. They were in great position all this season.
You still run close. You don't watch Marbula 1 to know who wins. You see who's going to overtake, who's going to do like whatever. If the same teams win every week, that's what it's about.
Yep, Savage Speeders all the way, baby.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I mean, 538 still got them, as you say, at 55%. So they've still got the best chance of finishing 4th out of them and Liverpool. Because points on the board is points on the board. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility, but it's just, if you're struggling to beat a Newcastle side, if you're conceding 4 goals against a Newcastle side,
4 unanswered goals,
to start with, 4 unanswered goals, then it doesn't fill you with confidence going into your last 3 games against top 5, top 6 opposition. It's not a good place to be, and it will be in their heads. As confident and as jubilant as they were earlier in the season with Maddison talking up Leicester's chances all the way, it's going to be in their head that we do this most seasons. And
speaking of bottle jobs,
let's go ahead to Leeds 3, Tottenham 1. Speaking of teams destroying their own top 4 chances. Leeds 2.6 to Tottenham's 1.0. Dog Mayer is not looking so good.
I did Google that and I said, there's a dog mayor in Kentucky or something.
Is that John Mayer's Hawaiian cousin?
Yeah, exactly.
Tenuous links there.
Tenuous at best. Tottenham down to 3%, so RIP Tottenham, even though they're only a point behind Liverpool and 2 points behind West Ham. It's just like, nope, they have no chance. They have 0 chance.
Was it worth sacking Jose? Just keep him on for the final, keep him on for the end of the season, just see if he can do anything?
Even just to cut down the fucking payout a little bit. Probably it's got to be on how much time is left. It's a pro rata basis for the payout. So
it seems very odd to me that they were not playing like a team that were playing for their manager. They weren't playing for anything. It was very uninspired.
Good times at Spurs Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 29, Ryan Mason. You know when you get to that point where football players are younger than you and you think, oh, okay, it might not happen now. When you get to the point that managers are, it's now definitely I'd just like to pull my hat out of the ring then for next Spurs manager, really. So just Sky Bet have got really good odds, but just don't bother, guys.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid and an aspiring sort of music producer, musician, I was like, oh, well, Pete Doherty and the Libertines, they didn't become famous until their late 20s. Now all I've got is C6 Steve. It's not good. It's not good. I think that ship might have sailed,
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Same number of teeth. But,
meanwhile, though, Fernandinho is a year older than Wayne Rooney. That's crazy to think about because Fernandinho's still playing a massively important job.
That's not
the best
possible.
team in the world, and Wayne Rooney is the Coventry manager.
I refute your facts. That can't be possible.
Yeah, sorry.
Derby manager, not Coventry.
Some team down there. I don't know.
I still hate Leeds. I
Still hate
Leeds.
Leeds.
Yeah, I hate them, but for different reasons now, not just because. Because
different reasons than just cause.
Well, it's like, it's just frustrating because it's like one of those teams that, they never stop attacking and stuff, and you can laugh at them and do that. But then it's like, actually, they're quite fun to watch, and they've scored 53 goals this year. They've also conceded 53, but they've got 50 points, like, as a promoted team.
You know what many people are saying? They're the Peterborough of the Premier League. I've said
They're the Peterborough.
Let's go ahead and move on then. Chuck, do you actually want to talk about Palace beating Sheffield, or no interest there whatsoever?
At least what was supposed to happen happened.
Yeah, there you go. 2.3 also. That's like the most XG you guys have put up in a long time.
What?
Yeah, you underperformed technically. All the 2.3 to 2 is pretty much bad.
Fuck's sake. Oh, yeah, to be fair, there was a lot of very close ones, and Ramsdale was actually making saves. But Eze did another...
You lie. Fuck off.
6. 6 of them. Some of them are quite
good. In your
good.
words, as many as 6.
As many as 6.
Exactly.
Half a dozen. Eze doing another from inside his own half run against Sheffield United to score is just lovely. So that was nice. And
I'm still excited about him. I feel like we've not seen the best of him.
No, you haven't seen the best of this Crystal Palace team for about 3 years.
Well,
mate.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I'm still sort of a bit buzzing about him for you there because I think he's quite something, and I think under an attacking manager who can be a bit more dynamic, I think he could be really good for you.
Yeah, next year's your year, Chuck. Definitely.
Yeah, it's every year's next year's my fucking last.
Next year's your year.
Next
for
year,
sure,
last year, who knows? Yeah, it's play to the strengths of Benteke, and Benteke's great. Like, he will win every fucking contested header there is, and if you've got someone nearby to take a knockdown, like, they'll get onto the ball and you'll keep possession, or so it's just playing to the strengths of the team. But like Southampton fans with the 9-0, it's how far into the game do you get before the commentator says Crystal Palace have got 12 players coming out of contract in the summer and their manager and this. And you're like, yeah, we know, mate, we know. Every man and his dog knows. And the fact that our youngest centre-back turned 31 the other week and we've got 6 of them, you're like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
We really need to sort everything out. Fucking bleak. But Hodgson will go soon. I really want Lampard. I'm not even lying. I'm so sold on it now, and I don't care what anyone says, and it just makes sense. Let's rebuild. Give it Lampard. Don't give it Giggsy. Give it Lampard.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Lampard would be a great fit for you guys. Genuinely, he's good at developing talent. I think he was a bit potentially, although I still think he did a good enough job to keep his job. Obviously, Tuchel was a massive upgrade. Whatever. I think he'd do a good job for you guys. I think he is a Premier League level manager. I think we saw what happened with Derby after he left. Not good things. And he took that team to like a pretty high finish. Obviously, they lost 2 good players from there, but anyway, I think he'd be a good fit for you guys. So I'm on board with that. It'd be cool to have him. He could stay in London. All those things. Let's move on then to the big one. Of course, we had West Ham 0, Everton 1. No, I'm kidding. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 2, Manchester City 1.8 to Chelsea 0.6. That marks the second time in a couple of weeks. No. We got the theme tune for a different one.
No, we're not talking about any other fixtures after this. We don't care about any other fixtures.
Fine. Yeah.
I'll play Chuck's one.
Battle of the week! There we go.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, we'll do Chuck's one. Very nice. We've beaten them twice in relatively recent history. I think we have one more match coming up against them sometime soon. I'm not sure. I might be making that up. I'm not entirely clear there. Couple of controversial things here. One penalty that was given that was soft. One penalty that wasn't given that was probably more
That was a madness. That was
Probably.
such a madness.
Probably, yeah.
He just kept kicking him in the back of the legs.
I got the ball, mate. Got the ball.
He got his testicles. He didn't get the fucking ball. He just like kept kicking Sterling in the back of the legs. And you're like, really?
It was like, he's not whistled. Oh, okay, I'll go again.
Fucking hell, more bites than Ian at a buffet. That's what that was like. Jeez.
That first one, though, was about 0.3 expected penalty, and then the other one was like 0.7. So you add them up, and there was one pen between the two of them, really.
Yeah.
Neither call was so egregious that VAR looked at it and said it needed to be reviewed or overturned. Like,
They were tired. They'd had enough.
yeah, exactly. Can we talk about Aguero's Panenka? Aguero, who, for the record, has scored more goals against Chelsea than any other player in Premier League history, 10 goals. Fucking hilarious. Send off in his last match against Chelsea in the league. Goes for the Panenka. Mendy starts to dive, realizes what's happening, stands himself up, and just catches the ball.
With one hand. With one
hand.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just didn't even need the security of two hands and his body behind it. Just like, but no, that's not a thing. Don't worry about that. That was an interesting choice at 1-0 up. You know, it's a choice you can maybe make.
He apologised on social media and everything afterwards.
Yeah, which that's terrible. Like, let's not get into the habit of making players apologise.
Yeah,
for,
I agree.
Nah, but he feels bad because he's leaving soon, doesn't he? Because he's got 3 games left. You know what I mean? And that guy is like that guy's impact. Like, we all love Sergio Aguero, and his legacy on the Premier League is immense just for his goal. Even considering when you look at how ridiculous his injury record is and how few games he's played each year, and you know, for one of the lasting things for him to do is to do that Panenka. But that does mean it's set up for him to score the winning penalty against Chelsea, though. That's the only thing in the Champions League final.
We'll see. I mean, I'm going to say 2 facts, and you guys can choose to connect them or not connect them as you see fit. I'm not implying anything here. I'm just listing 2 things that are true. Fact number 1, every Champions League final that Chelsea have ever played has gone to penalty kicks. Don't worry about sample size. You don't need to ask any questions. Every single one that they've ever played has gone to penalty kicks. And 2, the worst team in the Big 4 leagues at penalties this season has been Manchester City.
That is true.
So, you know, those are just 2 things that are true. You know, what do you want? How do you guys feel about Chelsea and City? Like, yes, this was a bit of a Burnley, but like, it also wasn't a total fluke. Chelsea had some good chances. And this is the second time in like 3 weeks that we've beaten them. So like, how are you feeling about these 2 going into the Champions League final relative to each other?
Well, just from a psychological point of view, it feels like old Tommy Tukes has got the better of him for now. It was an interesting tactical setup from Pep that was presumably designed to not show his hand. About
interesting insofar as he chose not to play in midfield. Is that what you mean?
That's the one. Yeah. I
don't need it, mate.
Yeah.
Whereas the old double pivot of Raheem Sterling and Ferran Torres.
the well-known setup.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Tommy Tukes played it straight down the line and ultimately came out the victor again, and it just seems that the psychological bent at the minute is with Chelsea, and it does make it interesting. I hope the Champions League final is more interesting than the first half was of this match, which was a little. It
won't.
Dull.
It's going to be a terrible. Do you
think it's going to be a terrible game?
It's going to be so boring. Yeah. If you're going to watch the Champions League final, I would just tune in at around the 80th minute and then watch it.
How much of a gap is there between the last game of the season and the Champions League final? Is it more than a week?
It's 1 week.
1 week, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Have Chelsea got the FA Cup final in that time as well?
No, the FA Cup final is this Saturday coming up. So we play Arsenal tomorrow. We play the FA Cup final Saturday, and then we play Leicester again on Tuesday. We're playing Leicester twice within like 4 days. One in the FA Cup final, one in the big top 4 race. So
okay, that'll be interesting. I want to see second half Chelsea, and I want to see first half City, but without it being weird functions. And I want to see, that's just what I want to see, because like Chelsea and Man City have been pragmatic in what they do this year and have just made it really simple. But as a neutral, like, you can watch it and you can appreciate tactically and you can see how that is intelligent, but it does not a spectator sport make.
No, not at all. That final's going to be one for the football perverts, like the genuine football perverts, the tacticians.
Yeah, it's got to be, because, like, you know, I will watch Chelsea with an affinity for yourself, and I think that's natural, and I like City because I like seeing those things, but fuck, I don't enjoy it. Like, it feels like a slog to me because I don't have that investment, and that's just a bit of a concern, especially if you're going to get to a final, because you don't want another Spurs-Liverpool, which is over after they had that penalty after 3 minutes, and then nothing else happened, I think, in that final.
Yeah. It's a slog even for me, and I am a fan of Chelsea, so, like, you're not wrong.
But second half Chelsea in this game were great.
Fantastic. Yeah. And in the FA Cup semifinal too, they were like genuinely better than City for the entire match. We out-XG'd them by quite a bit in that one too. So I think that I've been hesitant, as much as no one's going to believe me when I say this. I have been biting my tongue and not overly hyping Chelsea on this podcast as much as I actually want to. Because, you know, you don't want to jinx anything, but I have the numbers in front of me. Since Tuchel took over, because obviously City have been phenomenal throughout the whole season. Chelsea were not running particularly well for the first half. Certainly they were underperforming their numbers. But since Tuchel came in, so that's 16 league games, almost half the season, starting January 27, Chelsea and City are one expected point off of each other. So City is on 37, Chelsea's on 36. The next best team is Brighton on 30 and Man United on 29. So, yeah, I know Brighton continuing to do Brighton things, but it's a lot fucking closer, I think, than anyone has been willing to even consider, let alone say out loud, between City and Chelsea. Since Tuchel came over, we have been fucking amazing at defense at the very least, and the attack has started to click more and more and more as the season has gone on. And I don't think it's that far off as much as, like, I genuinely think that we can comfortably say, given the numbers and the results and the teams that those results have come against, because Chelsea have played every fucking major manager. You know, there's that stat going around. They played Simeone twice, Pep 3 times, Mourinho twice. Chelsea have conceded 1 goal in 8 games against those teams. Against those
and 5 goals against Sam Allardyce.
And 5 goals against Big Sam, of course. The mighty West Brom. But that West Brom game aside, like, I think that Chelsea are the second best team in the world, and it might even be closer than I think for top team in the world right now.
It's just, in some ways, I agree with that watching on the pitch. I think the league, XG, I think there's an element of the game state in that because, you know, Chelsea were in the chasing pack at that time, just trying to kind of wear down those who were in front, and City got to that point where they were 10 points clear, so could take their foot off the gas a bit more.
Sure, that's true. So, that's fair.
But that isn't to negate that we saw exactly what Tuchel... Well, he didn't do what has been traditional of being very attacking, and he still had some rotation, but I don't think as much as I would have expected. And he played a very defensive, very solid foot, and you saw the run of without conceding a goal and all of Mendy's clean sheets, and well, the whole team clean sheets, but you know, the fact that Mendy went from having none halfway through the season to being in for the Golden Glove at this point, you know, it's mad.
The double pivot guys were talking about this. I don't remember if it was on their Patreon episode or the public feed, but one of the stories here is how fucking bad does this make Lampard and Sarri look? Sarri tried to do this thing with all of these players, well, not all of these players, but Hazard in his prime, plus a lot of these same players, and could not get them even close to like Jorginho under Sarri versus Jorginho now is night and day. And like everyone was like, oh, Jorginho is a Sarri player. Like he meant to have a slow possession system that built up through the middle and had these cutting forward, you know, all the stuff that we see now. This is what Sarri was going for, and he couldn't get it to land. And Lampard, like, I will defend Lampard's season. I do think that he was hard done by to get fired. I think he probably deserved more time. But it is undeniable that Tuchel showed up and overnight, because literally 24 hours after his appointment was the Wolves match, transformed this team radically. Like, we are such a different team than we were. And, like, instantly. The speed at which they are adapting is amazing to see.
He's a different level of manager.
Yeah, he is.
You
can't
can't compare with Lampard. You can't. I take the criticism of Sarri, especially because Jorginho was a player he brought in. But
yeah, I mean, it highlights that Frank didn't know what to do because of that experience again, and Tuchel just came in and immediately had ideas.
Yeah, that's fine. But he didn't know. Frank Lampard's Chelsea didn't know how to organise off the ball.
Right,
just didn't.
Yeah,
they were fine with the ball. That was it. And the issue was in transition or when they were having to defend and back get the ball, they didn't know what to do. Whereas this Chelsea team, you know, they figured out how to do that, and then they went, you know, what makes it even easier? Just keep the ball. And you don't really also have to worry about that, especially if you're tired. But
I do think Lampard's legacy is important too, though, because like Reece and Mount, and also how much money we're going to make off Tammy this summer would be wildly impossible without the job that Frank did. So like his tenure will still have long-term effects at the club. But seeing how far all of the players have come in their decision-making and their sort of tactical intelligence under Tuchel in such a short time is amazing. And it really does speak to his like crazy training tactics or whatever. You know, we talk about like he plays multi-ball, or I was reading about one of the other ones that he does is he cuts off the corners of the pitch. So it's a diamond-shaped pitch, so everything gets concentrated by the goal mouth as you get further in, both in defense and attack. So you have to get good at those crowded spaces. Like just crazy things like that, so that when they play the game, everything does seem simpler. And they're like, oh, look at all this space we have. I know how to find people. I know how to do this.
That's insane.
And it's paying off, man. It's fucking amazing. Like, it's not fun to watch, but it is fucking amazing. And it feels great. Like, I got nothing else to say other than it feels great. After speaking for a half hour and saying I don't have anything else to say.
There we go, yeah. Can we laugh at Brighton? Brighton? Laugh at Brighton?
Yeah, absolutely. Wolves 2, Brighton 1, Wolves 1.1, Brighton 0.3. So a solid victory for Wolves.
Brighton's expected players, 9.
9.
Oh, Lewis Dunk is so good at fantasy football. Oh, he scored again. Oh, sent off.
Never mind.
Neil Maupay, most wasteful player in the league.
With more excellent decision making. Just a smart man. A very, very smart man.
I sense a bit of sarcasm there, Ian. Am I right?
Maybe.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a bit. We should briefly touch on this other result too, as not actually to say anything other than RIP West Ham, because their top 4 chances are pretty much gone. West Ham 0, Everton 1, West Ham 1.1 to Everton's 1.6. That does knock West Ham's chances down to 5%, according to 538. So even though they're right
they
there,
still have a chance. Okay, I wasn't even sure they still have a chance.
technically still have a chance, yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but for them, that would just be... You getting European football in general would have been a top target for
that's
West
true,
Ham.
actually.
And
yeah.
so if it would have been Championship League, that's kind of the issue as well with the 538 is they don't have, the Europa and the other ones in there because it's different permutations.
Yeah, I wish
which
they
I think
would.
would be nice.
I really do wish they would.
Maybe have a word. Maybe have a word with him, Oscar, and get us put in.
I'll email Nate as soon as we're done recording.
Yeah, get right on that.
Thanks, bruv. That's why he's only silver. He could get to gold. So I think it's a really good season for West Ham, and I think in a place where no one expected they would. No one. Thank you.
Very late. I'm sorry.
Delayed. Jesus Christ.
I forgot I had it.
Do you want me to do the joke again?
No, carry on.
No, it's better that way. Especially when Moyes came in and no one expected it after he'd been panned. We panned him, whatever, and he just went on that fantastic run and they built up and they've had signings like Lingard who did really well for them, and now Antonio's back.
That's a good point, to be fair, because they wouldn't even be in with a shout if it wasn't for Lingard.
And they've done it with one. Antonio's the only striker they have. They got rid of Allaire and they got rid of insert third name here.
Chicharito. Sorry.
Yeah.
Chicharito.
Thank you.
I think you're about 2 seasons too late.
Well, they still got rid of him at some point. He was there. He's not.
Andy Carroll. They probably had Andy Carroll at some point. Carlton Cole was probably still there in a broom cupboard.
Carlton Cole.
They've done that, and so I think it's a really good season for West Ham. They've they should solidify Europa League. Who's close enough? Arsenal aren't going to catch them, are they?
No.
6 points in 3 games.
No.
So you can consider them.
You're looking at realistically a lowest position for West Ham is 8.
I do think this is a bit of the a draw that feels like a loss as opposed to a draw that feels like a win, where you're up and then you concede in like the 95th, and so you're like, yeah, I guess we drew there. And if you had told me before the whistle that I would have been happy with a draw against this X team, same thing for Leicester, same thing for West Ham. I think the position that they were in makes the position they're likely to finish in more disappointing than if they had only known about that position from the start of the season. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that should do it for fixtures, I guess, there. We will be back to talk about stuff, obviously, next week, as we always are. I don't know why I said that.
That was weird. I thought, are we going to a break?
It was a bit weird, yeah. Let's just blow past that. Because it's someone else's job to take over now. Yay! What are we going to do? We're going to talk about FPL. We're going to do the Predictor League. How's the Predictor League looking?
Daddy's on a Predictor League! League of predictions that you gave me at the beginning of the season. 34 people gave their predictions of where the Premier League teams would finish in the league. Worked it out. Did some numbers. Bosh. Top is, his spawn has just become a Patreon. And he probably doesn't listen, but Papa Dalton, father of other Oscar, is top.
No way.
At the minute with 50 points. Yeah.
And presumably the one funding the Patreon subscription, given that other Oscar is a child. So.
Well, this is it. And then in second is the XG differential per 90 on the same score. Third place, Chris Smith on 54. Oh. And then there's a chasing pack. For us, Ian, you and I are tied on 62 in 6th position. Oscar, scroll. 23rd on 74 points. Tied with the GP, Jeff Pedder. Oscar Dalton, son of Papa Dalton, is in 31st.
Oh, dear.
So,
How's the good Dr. Emily doing? She's definitely going to want to hear her position.
Emily is 5th. Emily's 5th in the league.
There you go. She's happy about that, I'm sure.
There you go. It's kind of shaking itself out now. There's not really much. I mean, it's still a big drop this season. A lot of people are suffering because of Sheffield United and Leeds, really. No one really put Sheffield United as getting relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell. Remember when they finished like 5th last year or something crazy?
Well, yeah, but Oscar, you and I put Wolves in 5th, and I looked at that today and thought, what the fuck are we smoking? Like,
They were good last year. Like, they lost all their strikers. That's like Raul Jimenez, Diogo Jota. Like, that's where their numbers went to other teams and the injury room. Like, I don't know. I stand by that pick, and I also stand by Palace in the fucking relegation zone, for the record. And I'm going to pick them again next year.
Yeah, well, mathematically safe in it, mate, so fuck off, you prick.
Wow.
How about FPL? How are you boys doing in FPL so far this week? I should.
We're not in a relegation zone now for XG. Suck. Oh wait, Burnley are winning, so they're going to overtake us. Damn it!
You mentioned FPL there, Oscar. I don't know. It's just
not a lot going on in FPL this week, is there?
No.
All right, live check on the teams. Where are you at right now as of recording? Monday, May 10, 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:20 p.m. UK time.
I am on 58 points.
Oh, not bad.
And naturally, because of how these things fucking work between me and Ian, I'm on 56 points. We're only 2 points away.
Either of you take a points hit or anything? Or is it just 58-56?
Yeah, that is points hits.
Yeah, I had 2 free transfers, so I was able to bring in Bruno to captain him for the triple.
Very nice. That's paid off already, and there's 2 fixtures to go.
Yep, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of games still to be played. I've got looking forward to Watkins' performance in the second game against Everton. That should be good. Fucking hell.
Yes.
Fucking hell. I've been defending Watkins to people all season, and then he fucking does that.
Yeah, he derped it. And it's not even like you get rid of him because he's back. He'll be back for the next game week. So when
exactly, yeah. So. He's there till the end of the season now, but never mind, eh? But yeah, I mean, ticking along, but it's such a... Basically, my game week 1 rank overall was 700k, and I've never been higher than that. Oof. So if I can't get the fucking... Basically now I am 750k. If I can't get above my game week 1 rank, I realise how pointless my existence is. But for fuck's sake, this would just be... What a waste of a season. What an absolute waste of a season.
Join us in draft, Ian. Join us in draft. Let the hate flow through you.
I love the idea of draft, but I just can't commit to being around and doing things when the lineups are announced, and you need to be so engaged. It's such a good game, I accept that, but
fair enough.
I just can't be that engaged. This set and forget FPL thing just works for me.
May I shout out the stats robots because I went fucking crazy this week just for the fun.
You points, hits, and bench boost.
That's
is that
correct? Yes, the stats robots are on 68 points minus 20 points hits and bench boosting. So yeah, fuck it, it was done. Whatever. I didn't even go off the PQI anymore because again. It's just whatever. So I have Havertz in there. I have Pulisic in there. Ollie Watkins.
Didn't play. Sent off.
Yeah. But 68, and minus 20 puts us at 48, really. But 68 is not bad. Right?
Yeah, but it's 48. but it's 48.
The number says 68. I'm looking at the number and it says 68. So I don't know about that, Chuck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, good point. Gentlemen, let's bluff.
Bluffer time. It's bluffer time. Yes, bluffer time. You gonna make some bluff. Then I will say, go for it. And you say how many numbers. And then I say, do that many numbers. If you can guess, that's the bluffer time.
No rhythm.
He does make you look good, Chuck. He does make
That's
you
what
look
he's
good.
about. I appreciate it. And Oscar does me a good service.
I got you, bud.
He's a man of the people.
No problem.
I caught my daughter narrating her life the other day, and I shed a tear because I knew it was a Highlander situation, and we both can't exist in the same world. So she's gone now. She's outside. In song form, my daughter has started coming up with jingles at 2 years old.
That's amazing.
Just little bits, and watching Rick and Morty, and
that's a parenting worry, but
that's less good, but okay.
Here's what it is. Come at me.
All right. Well, it is my turn to host this week. In case my lovely song didn't accurately describe the game for you, and you haven't been listening until this is your first episode, and you made it to here, fine. I'm gonna have some categories. There are a certain number of things in those categories. The boys are going to take turns betting on how many they think they can name. At some point, someone's going to call someone else, and then we go from there. I had 3 very good normal categories ready to go this morning.
God, you decided not to.
I will tell you what they were. The first one was the ceremonial counties of England. I believe I also had the 25 most commonly used words in the English language, another very reasonable category.
Fuck.
Good categories,
Shit.
good categories.
Piss. Wank.
And then I put a call out to the Patreons this morning to be like, hey, do you guys have any better ideas? And all of them, universally, and I'm pretty sure this is driven by your reactions to recent weeks, Chuck, were one of two things. Either give them a massive list that is purely objective, no subjectiveness, but is brutally hard. Shout out Sandambi, because I did take one of those. And then the rest of them were
People
like,
have
bro,
to
just
listen
be as
to
subjective
this.
as possible. Purely subjective. So I'll save Sam's for the tiebreaker because the other two will be shorter. And I'm going fully subjective because that's what the Patreons told me, and I thought it was hilarious, and I'm going with this. So, Ian, would you like Star Wars or would you like MCU? I'll let you pick Star Wars or MCU for the first bid.
Okay, MCU then.
Doesn't matter, it's subjective.
MCU.
None of it means
Okay.
anything.
Famously, I have a spreadsheet that helped me figure out what my favorite MCU movies are, broken down category by category. Both of you have seen this spreadsheet at some point in time. I know this, so I'm totally okay with doing this. There are 24 MCU movies to date. How many of my Oscar Puente's 13 favorite MCU movies can you name?
Very good. I do like it.
When did the list? Do you ever add to or change the list, or is it like a once in absolute?
I update it every time a new movie comes out. I watch it 5 times, and then I update the list.
Of course you do.
Oh, but that's just to add a new one. You don't.
Oh, I reevaluate anytime I do a rewatch of the whole thing, which I guess the last one would have been right before Endgame, I update all the scores.
Okay.
But other than that, I leave them in place. So the last update to most of these would have been Endgame. And then Spider-Man Far From Home is in one of the 23 spots. But maybe in the top 13, maybe not. I don't know. You have to guess. That's the game. Ian, how many do you think you can name?
I will go 7.
Nice bid. Excellent opening bid. Chuck, how many of my 13
9.
favorite MCU? He says 9. Ooh.
10.
10. I don't want to get any shit for the ones I like and don't like. I don't care. I have a system. I'm confident in my answers to this.
11.
11. Chuck has 11. Ian, do you want to go higher than 11 here?
I'll go 12, and then if he wants to try it, he can try
All 13, Chuck? No mistakes of my 13 favorite?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, Ian Stimson, you need to name 12 of my 13. When you say these, I will also give their score out of 100 from my spreadsheet as far as how much I like them.
I think I could do all of them, but it's 13 is halfway down the list, and it's at a point where you could justify. You know what I mean? Like the scores could be close.
I do have some hot takes on these, so there are probably a couple that you would be surprised by and a couple that you would be surprised are not there. But Ian, go ahead and take it away. How many of my 13? You said 12, so let's go for it.
Iron Man 2. Are you fucking... Oh, no.
You idiot. You would never say Iron Man anything.
No, but I thought he did. I thought I remember...
Can I go? Can we not
Yeah,
do any?
Chuck,
And let's
go
see
for
how
it.
many I will get.
Chuck,
Okay.
if you can name 13, I'll give you the point. I mean, you have the point anyway,
he has
but
the
I'll
point
give you
anyway.
the extra point. I don't know.
I could get an extra one.
Just
The
go
point
for it.
off of you for doing subjective list. So Civil War and Endgame.
Yep, Endgame number 1, Civil War number 3,
Oh, that's not what I meant to say. Infinity War. Sorry, that's what I meant to
Infinity
say.
War number 2. So you're in there?
Yeah.
So that's top 3.
That's top 3. Yeah.
Okay. Guardians, Ragnarok, Black Panther.
Guardians number 4, Ragnarok number 8, Black Panther number 10.
Wow, Black Panther's that low. Winter Soldier. I know you love that.
Yep, Winter Soldier number 5.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yep, number 7.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Number 6 on the list.
Guardians 2.
Guardians 2 does just barely make the cutoff at 12. Wow, Chuck, you are crushing this.
yeah,
You really
yeah.
do know me quite well.
I think you'd like Doctor Strange.
I was going to say,
Yep,
I wrote
that's
down
13th.
Doctor Strange.
Absolutely, that is 13th, and I have it much higher than pretty much anybody else I know.
I love that film.
Love it. 2 more. One of them I doubt you'll guess. One of them you might.
Is the first Ant-Man in there?
No.
Nah, okay.
First Ant-Man is like way towards the bottom for me.
So I said 11. I got 11. Double points.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Am I misremembering something? There was a conversation about one of the Iron Man films that you liked way more than most other people?
Iron Man 2 is my favorite of the Iron Man movies, but it does not crack the top 13.
I think I inflated that in my head.
Mickey Rourke just wanted his bird. He just wanted his bird. I want my bird. I want my bird. Give me bird.
Chuck, the two you missed were Avengers and Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel. Okay.
Wait, what would be... Oh, did people not like Captain Marvel? What's the one that's there that's controversial?
Yeah, that's not that popular. I don't think... Like, I have Captain Marvel above Captain America 1 and all 3 of the Iron Man movies, which I think would be pretty much of a hot take among most nerds.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that, too. All right, which means that, Chuck, you get Star Wars. I have written out here my 13 favorite Star Wars characters. I will go ahead and get the caveats out of the way. These are only characters that have speaking lines in either movies or shows. Nothing from books, nothing from comics, and no random background characters who don't have speaking lines.
And do they have, when you say speaking roles, do they have to speak English words?
No.
So it's, okay, so they can just make noises.
Okay, so I'll give you one that isn't there, but that would potentially fit that category. BB-8. BB-8 doesn't speak words, but he does have speaking lines, so to
But he would have been an acceptable consideration for these roles.
He would have been, yes. He doesn't crack my top 13, but he could be on the list.
Why am I entertaining this? 3.
All right, Chuck says 3 of my favorite Star Wars characters. They're all characters that you guys would know, for the record. I don't have. It's not like super deep cuts. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, Master Plo Koon is number 1.
Okay.
Go Plo Koon!
I do love Master Plo Koon, but he's not top 13 material.
Sentinel for the win! Yellow lightsaber!
Ian, we have 3. How many more? Can you name more than 3 of my favorite Star Wars characters?
5.
Ian's got 5. Chuck, do you want to go for 6 of my 13 favorite Star Wars characters?
Sure, why not?
All right, 6. Ian, would you like to go for 7? The big lucky number 7 out of 13.
I'll go 8.
Oh, yeah?
Going to 8. Going as high as 8. Chuck, do you want to go to 9 out of 13 of my favorite Star Wars characters?
How many you got written down, Ian?
Not many more than 8.
Ian, how many Star Wars characters can you name?
Not many more than
9?
8.
Yeah. I'll say 9 just for the sake of fun, isn't it? Can you go 10?
This is very fun. I'm highly enjoying this.
I because I always criticise that I don't push it. I will go 10. Yeah.
Are you going to keep pushing it? How much? When you say you criticise, so you're going to push it, how much more are you going to push it? If I say 11, would you say 12?
Let's just say only been 11 if you want to take it.
No, I'm gonna do a Stimson, and I'm just gonna let you name them.
Let me take 10.
I'm gonna take the back seat here.
All right, and by the way, happy belated May the 4th to all the Star Wars nerds out there. Hope you enjoyed celebrating with either a movie or The Bad Batch. I have not watched The Bad Batch. No spoilers, please.
Yeah. I need to start that.
I'm waiting until the whole season's out, personally. But Ian, take it away. I need 10. Right, that was the bid. 10.
That was the bid.
Wait. Hold on. Because you're saying this is just arbitrary. You have this list written down, right? So you can prove.
Yes.
Don't
Ian,
hold it up to the
eyes.
camera.
No, Ian, close your eyes. Hands over your face. There's my list.
Okay.
It's written down.
Okay. I'm satisfied.
All right, Ian, take it away.
Okay, I think mostly you would go for baddies. So Darth Vader, I think, will be top.
Absolutely. He's second, actually, on the list, but...
He's second. Okay.
Definitely love Darth Vader. Love Darth Vader.
Han Solo.
8th. Han Solo at 8th.
Okay. Rey.
Rey at 4, the 4th spot.
Mace Windu.
Ooh, nah.
Play my fucking music, white boy!
Oh dear, it's not a good week for me, but well played.
Wow, this actually worked in favor of Chuck, surprisingly, despite the Patreons just looking to troll you. Do you want to throw any more names out there?
Yeah, Jabba.
Nope.
What?
No.
What?
I thought he might just throw
No,
that in
I
there.
love Star Wars too much to have a trolley type list. It's just like it's just pure love for that universe.
Okay. Right.
Chuck, would Mace Windu be like top of your list?
Mace Windu, well, yeah, but it's more that I like Samuel L. Jackson than Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if anyone wants to buy a Mace Windu lightsaber, let me know.
Okay.
I think I'm going to sell mine. It just sits in the loft. Master replicas, if anyone's interested.
Very nice. Those are worth quite a bit.
How many Sith are we talking about here, Oscar?
2. Just 2.
Just 2.
Kylo Ren.
There's not that many Sith in the movies.
Right, yeah,
really.
okay.
Dooku's boring.
Yeah.
The other one was Darth Maul. I don't find Palpatine compelling on any level whatsoever. And then those are the 4 Sith that we've seen. If you want to count Kylo Ren, then he would also, but he's not a Sith per se. And he also made a turn by the end of that trilogy.
Okay, so I had Kylo Ren on the list.
He would have been 13th.
I think at the bottom of my list I had Palpatine, so that you've crossed that off as no. Okay, I think I'd have struggled anyway. I mean, Luke and Leia.
Yep, not Luke, but Leia.
Not
yes.
Luke. Okay,
Not Luke.
He was at the bottom.
Not Luke.
He was at the bottom of my list as well because I knew he'd be low. I knew if there was.
I don't like. He's too whiny, man. I don't like him.
He is an annoying character. You're right. Yeah.
I loved him in Last Jedi. That's the only really Luke appearance that I've particularly enjoyed. Chuck, do you want to throw some out here?
Hang on, as a trolling one, I put Jar Jar Binks.
No.
No, okay, fine.
Which I'm wondering if I should have, because he's the one that I quote the most in life. Like, I just, when anything bad is happening, I'm like, that's bad, Bonnie. Emily hates that so much.
I wonder why.
Chuck, do you want to throw some out there? You know me pretty well. We've had a lot of Star Wars conversations.
Yeah, and I mean, you held the list up to the camera, so why not?
Oh, also that.
R2-D2?
Yep, number 1. Yeah, Chewie was number 6.
And I can't remember what else we've said and haven't said. Finn, maybe?
No, not Finn.
No, he's pretty boring.
Lando.
No Lando. I'm very drawn towards droids and people with force powers. The regular humans are pretty boring to me.
You wouldn't have put C-3PO on there, would you?
I don't, which Emily's going to be so offended because we always talk about how I'm R2-D2 and she's C-3PO. That was literally our wedding cake toppers. But she did not crack my top 13 Star Wars characters.
Fair enough.
I'll rattle off the
she
list.
Wasn't in the suit.
Yeah, she knows the deal. Coming at the top, it's R2-D2. Then we have Darth Vader / Anakin. Then Ahsoka, Rey, Obi-Wan, Chewbacca, Darth Maul, Han Solo, K2SO, which is the kind of hipster pick in there. But I find him hilarious. He's the droid from Rogue One, voiced by Steve the Pirate. Then we have Leia, Yoda, Qui-Gon, and Kylo Ren to round off the list.
Qui-Gon?
Yeah, I fucking love Qui-Gon, dude. He's the best Jedi, in my opinion, of all of the Jedi. He got it. He was like, it's about the living force, man.
He found Anakin. Like, he's good at finding people.
He also was the one to unlock immortality. Like, if it wasn't for him, Yoda would never have learned how to be a Force ghost, and neither would Obi-Wan. Through him, all things are possible. Shout out, Qui-Gon.
Jesus? Oh, Qui-Gon. Right. Okay, so it is Monday the 10th of May as we record. Burnley, I don't know, have they won? Am I watching that game? Am I fuck? They're winning. Tomorrow, Man United play Leicester. Southampton play Palace. Oh, fuck. It's on Sky. I don't have that great. Chelsea Arsenal, that Oscar always gets excited about, is on Wednesday. Aston Villa Everton on Thursday. And Man United again with Liverpool. The Red Derby, the postponement derby. We'll be back with you. There'll be more fixtures between there. Shall I start them off? Nah. Another 6:30 game week for all you FPL nerds out there. If you haven't ranked yourself into a coma or quit all social media because I don't want fucking my testicles. Guys, it's a game with numbers on the spreadsheet. Go outside. Appreciate the sun.
No,
Ian, play the music because I'm only going to keep talking.
You can't make me appreciate the sun.
I'm only going to keep talking. I'm only going to piss off more people. And we're definitely not going to get Patreons. Anyway, point to me. Wait, what's the scores in a bluffer? Am I winning yet?
9-9-10.
Say goodbye, Ian.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Oscar.
Hello there.
That went what? That went more like Fozzie Bear. Thanks, Nate. Good to have you back, buddy. Producer. Bye.